Okay, let me say a special greetings, a special welcome to all of you who are there already. Today being the 13th day of April 2024, and I know that is not the the image that you guys are accustomed of seeing every Saturday, but that time, so I am somewhat different, having a different engagement, but it is still the Saturday night live engagement with yours truly, Loftus Jura. Tonight's program for sure going to be a shortened or truncated program of the Saturday Night Live with yours truly, as I said. I was called earlier this week by the man that you're seeing in the frame now, the esteemed gentleman, Mr. Ossie Lewis. I was called by him earlier this week to facilitate him with a platform. That is my platform, so that he could respond or refute to certain things which were said on the Sports Wrap program of Thursday of this week, Thursday the 11th of April 2024, from 6 p.m. just on the radio station Q95. And so for those persons who may be tuning in at this time and you are not akua or you are not well informed about what Mr. Lewis is going to respond to tonight, I'll be reading two letters. One is from the CEO of Q95, that is Mr. Sheridan Gregoire, and also I'll be reading another letter from Mr. Ossie Lewis. For sure, these two letters will have you get a better perspective of just why Mr. Ossie Lewis responds tonight. And so without much delay, let me go into reading the first letter. That is from Mr. Sheridan Gregoire. The letter, it has Q95's logo on there. Sorry for the noise, people. So as I was saying, the first letter has Mr. Sheridan's Gregoire, that is his radio station Q95 logo on there at the top. And that letter was dated Wednesday, April 3rd, 2024. And it says, "Dear Mr. Lewis, please be advised that in consideration of your health, I have decided to ask SIBO to be the lead host of Sports Wrap effective tomorrow, Thursday, 4th April 2024. You will no longer come to the studio for Sports Wrap. Ronald Lander will be a co-host in the studio at Q95. Lobby and yourself will be online host. Sherwin will provide a link to you and Lobby to participate in the show online every Thursday. I look forward to SIBO being given the fullest support and cooperation of Ossie and Ronald and Lobby. Regards, Sheridan Gregoire, CEO of WISE Q95 FM Radio." And there are certain numbers there. That is the numbers, the contact numbers for Sheridan Gregoire. And importantly as well, that letter that I just read from Mr. Gregoire, it was copied to Lockhart Sebastian, Ronald Lander, and Mr. Emmanuel Loblack. The response now from Mr. Lewis says, "Dear Mr. Gregoire, I am to refer to your correspondence of Wednesday, 3rd April 2024, in which you stated certain decisions you made in respect of the Sports Wrap program in consideration of my health. Have you ever really considered my health? You have never once inquired from me about my health. Do you have a medical report on the state of my health? Yet, without a scintilla of evidence or even discussions with me about my health, you arrived at your decision to ask Sibo to be the lead host, of the program. It continues by saying you are trying to portray yourself as a believer / practitioner of natural justice and fair play. What about my right to a fair hearing? I have devoted 10 years to Sports Rap program from its genesis on the 20th of May 2014 to the present time. Again, folks, my apology for that bike in the background. Let me just take that line again, people. It says, I have devoted 10 years to the Sports Rap program from its genesis on 20th March 2014 to present time, and I am very confident that I have left an indelible mark on the sports rap locally, regionally, and internationally without remuneration after the last 7 years. However, it would appear that certain devious forces have conspired, and that conspired, Mr. Lewis put it in caps, to achieve their goal. The last line reads, your letter and the tone therein reeks of crass authoritarianism, a lack of civility, a lack of democratic tenets, and epitomizes injustice. It ends by saying, yours, Ossie Lewis. Yes. All right, folks, so these are the two letters, persons, that I read to you, one from the CEO of Q95, Mr. Gregoire, and the response from Mr. Ossie Lewis. So that is it. These are the two letters we're really going to unpack, as it were, and find out from Mr. Lewis exactly what about these matters in terms of his response. So Mr. Lewis, let's get straight to it. Where would you want to start your response as we get into it?
I would like to start. All right, but the main thing I want to hammer home very early is that point of Mr. Gregor on Thursday was on Sports Rap, and the host was Sebastian. Apart from I found the whole program was held with indecent haste. I found they want to call in, and the host was rushing the whole thing. Yours truly, I remember, that is you, Loftus, called in the end there, and you just about going into something when you were cut off unceremoniously. I just found the whole thing was rushed. And apart from that, there were many untruths said in the program, which I want to debunk here. And I wanted equal time that Sharon Gregoire had on that Thursday, that infamous Thursday afternoon. He tried to clear the air, but I'm going to dirty the air even more, because he said that he could not get me by telephone. Sharon knows my telephone number has never changed, and he has spoken to me by the same telephone numerous occasions. From Canada, we have corresponded. Many times he wants to reach me. He gets me through Sherwin, or when I go to the studio, I am told that Mr. Gregor says, hold on, he wants to speak to you. So getting in touch with me is not a big thing for Sharon Gregoire. So saying that on the air, he said, so clearly I heard him on Thursday that it's difficult to get to me by WhatsApp and this and that. That is utter rubbish. Wow. He's trying to show us that he acted in good faith. But the first thing I want to debunk is this is a total mistruth that he cannot get to me by telephone. He has done so. He has spoken several times by telephone.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, that's fine, Brother Lewis. Let me ask you straight up. One of the prime reasons in the letter, given in the letter, is it's in consideration of your health.
Yes.
Can you speak to that situation of your health at present?
Very much so. I am present undergoing dialysis treatment at the hospital. the Princess, still call it the Princess Margaret
Yes,
Hospital, but
yes.
it has a new name,
Yes.
whatever it is, right? And dialysis treatment, it doesn't mean that you are incapacitated or in any way affects your normal activities. Receiving dialysis is not a death sentence. That you're like, you have cancer, the last stage of cancer, or what have you. You're just receiving treatment because your kidneys have failed and you're trying to keep your system normal. It's a normal thing, and on the contrary, I have to debunk this whole thing over dialysis. I know guys about 20 odd years on dialysis, and I can call him one name at least. You'd like me to call his name,
Okay.
because he's a pioneer, he's a champion of the cause of the benefits of dialysis. A guy called Lander Bruno. He's well known. He's been on many programs, and he's debunking all the misconceptions about dialysis. So dialysis in itself is not an incapacitating thing. You receive treatment 2-3 times a week. It's something you have to be committed to, of course, but it is not a sickness per se. It's a treatment of a condition. And many dialysis patients still work. I know guys are still policemen working. Other guys are taxi drivers. All kinds of people are working normally, their normal lives with dialysis. So receiving dialysis, I want to debunk it, is no way your sense of your debilitation or incapacitation. In fact, I feel much better now when I'm taking dialysis over the last couple months. I feel much better now than I felt a few months ago.
Yeah, yeah.
So on that point, so the state of my health is I'm receiving dialysis treatment at the hospital twice a week, 3-hour sessions, and no means I feel incapacitated. I can walk anywhere, I can do anything I want to do.
Wow.
In fact, I'm encouraged to walk and to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks for clearing the air on that.
Yes.
In your response, Mr. Lewis, some persons really felt how you felt.
Yes, yes.
But can you speak a little more direct to how you felt on receiving that letter?
Well, okay. I missed several weeks, maybe about 12 weeks. I could have gone back earlier to resume to be on sports rap again then. Or maybe a month earlier than I did. But I had another little problem with my leg and I couldn't move. So I just stayed back an extra month. But I felt well enough to go back since a month before I actually went back. So I had gone back. I went back on March the 21st.
Yes.
One day after the 10th anniversary of this program. 10 years since this program was conceived, and its first airing was 20th of March 2014. I was determined to be back on Sports Rap in time to quote-unquote celebrate 10 years, 1 decade of Sports Rap, which had grown by leaps and bounds, locally, internationally, regionally. I've had legions of fans around the world. So I felt, and when I was going to the hospital, many people came to me, also, you must go back to Sports Rap. I wasn't going to go back,
Yeah.
So just to please my fans, I said I must make it. And there was no problem in getting to Q95. No, I want to make that point very clear. Q95 had about 5 steps, flight of steps then to reach the top.
Yes.
And I did it alone on my own with no help. Nobody helped me. Twice. I'd come back twice already. I was just before my 3rd program. Now I must say the other person that put as the lead host now, Sebastian, on that I can call his name. When he comes up the step, if he's really truthful, he pants like anything. It takes about 5 minutes to recover. So will you say he's not fit to come to Sports Rap either?
Wow.
If his folks is true, he will admit every time he comes to Sports Rap, I'm there before him most of the time, and it always takes 3 to 5 minutes panting to recover his breath, climbing up the steps. So don't use that as any kind of, criterion for ability and disability. Otherwise, he too will be disqualified. I just mentioned that because it is truth.
Yes, yes.
But Loftus definitely had gone back on 2 occasions. I was already preparing for my 3rd occasion. I get this letter 24 hours before, and the letter was brought to me by Sherwin. He came up here to me to bring it. Because I told him, okay, he told me there's a letter for me from Mr. Gregoire. So I said, Sherwin, I'm coming to work tomorrow. Not work, but coming to the show tomorrow.
Yes, yes.
I'll get it tomorrow. He said, no, you must get the letter now. Sherwin came up here and brought it himself and gave me the letter. And I read this shocking letter, written every word written in bold letters.
Well, Mr. Gregoire said publicly why. He wrote it in bold, and then I guess some persons
My eyesight is perfect. I can read it with glasses. Any fine print.
Okay.
So you have to write bold letters to me. I'm a little child of 5 years to read a thing in bold letters. I read normal letters. You have to bold something where to stand out. But the entire letter is in bold. I've never seen that before. Anyway, that is minor.
That's water under the bridge, as I say.
Yeah, minor.
A lot of persons are suggesting, Ossie, if a telephone discussion had gone into or prior or preceded that letter, it would have maybe had a different outcome. What's your take?
But obviously, I'm a very civil person, you know. You don't know me as a rough person, unapproachable. You think if somebody writes to me or approaches me in a civil manner, I wouldn't respond? But there was no contact with Sharon Gregoire and yours truly. There was never a telephone call. There was nothing. I get a letter in block letters the very next day prior to. I already planned a couple of interviews for my Thursday already, you know. I wouldn't call the names of the guys I will stand by already. And I get this letter. And it says, what I like, one of the lines or the paragraphs, which I found very shocking, and it's the way it's written. You will, not you may not wish to come, you will, you know, you will no longer come to Sports Trap at Q95. As though, well, if you come there, you will be shot. You will no longer come. As I said earlier, it's like the Egyptian Pharaoh, Ramesses, when he spoke to Moses, when Moses had all the plagues on Egypt, and Ramesses, your bringer, said, come to me no more, Moses. Come to me no more, Ossie. For the day you see my face again, will push you down the steps. So I took it very hard, I can tell you. And there's nobody else. I mean, there are other people. There are 3 or 4 other people on the program now, you know. The program has expanded. It includes Low Black, Ronald Lander, and Dr. Fontaine now.
Yes.
So when I come back again now, there'll be 5 people, you know. We'll be overcrowded. Right? So had there been a discussion, a real civil discussion, and had it been done in good faith, but it was not done in good faith. Why I say that? It was done, I'd gone back already for 2 weeks. I was on the eve of my 3rd week. But something happened between me and somebody else on the show, some minor thing, and that may have been blown out of proportion. And it shows that Mr. Gregoire acted with an impulse, take action right away. That's why the next week now, I was off the show, just like that. Without a phone call, no hint, nothing at all. Just straight on your chest, take it. Heavy block letter on your chest. I took it, and especially as Sports Rap was my baby. I created Sports Rap with a young lady called Ginny, what's her name again?
Francis Giselle.
Giselle Francis, a very brilliant girl. Young lady, I should say. I met her there, and I think so much so that Mr. Gregoire had spoken to me, and he told me that he wants a program and so on, and you could have me at the head. And we suggested other people. Right, I wouldn't call the names now, but Sebastian's name came up, and so on. And Giselle now was working there. So there was no date given to start. But Giselle, very enthusiastic, decided to start off with it. Around 20th March 2014.
I remember those days.
Right. So the very next week I went back, and I went the first 2 or 3 times. Giselle was still there, and Lobby was on the panel with me, and Giselle was still alive until Giselle herself had to leave the studio after some time. She had some problems. But she's the one who began the program with me. But it is my conception, the whole sports rap thing. I can tell you, 2014, that's why I was so keen on getting back there to celebrate, quote unquote, celebrate 10 years. Because things don't last long in Dominica.
Yes.
And to last for 10 years, I felt you should at least, whoever is on, should give that a little airplay. That this is the 10th anniversary of this program, and say who are the original people. I feel so. That is the way. I have a sense of history and gratitude to my pioneers.
Yeah. And in terms of that 10 years, Ossie, of quote-unquote service on the sports rap program, can you give us a little more in-depth information as to the level of preparation that went into these programs?
A lot of preparation, especially if you do something, it involves statistics and history. You have to be very particular, go back to your computer and check this thing. There's a lot of work. And yes, it calls for a lot of preparation. If you go there unprepared, you'll be embarrassed sometimes because you have to be up to date.
Sure.
Yeah, and none of that, you have to follow the sports taking place. Like if there's a tennis tournament or World Cup football, or there's tennis, there's cricket test match and so on. You have to make your notes. You certain comments you want to make, you make your comments, and you prepare. So preparation is a key factor. Is preparation, Yes.
Well, I could see that in terms of just listening to the program, that at least there was some preparation that went into the sports rap program, where your commentary was concerned.
And I want to make a point here. Sports commentary is not sports reporting. You don't come in there to report sports. A match took place at BOSH. This is not sports. A commentary is your comment on issues of sports. We might discuss how is the decline of West Indies cricket over the last so years.
Yeah.
It's a commentary. You could take the whole program. Sports reporting is something else, reporting the daily happening in sports. But sports commentary is a commentary on sports.
True.
So if international matters are really dominating, you focus on international matters for your sports commentary. If you want somebody to give you reports on sports, that's another thing. To give sports reporting. Sports commentary is looking at issues and other things globally. Also locally, of course, a big issue,
Yes.
But you're not bound to look at every single sport and know every single score of the day, because that's our sports reporter.
Okay.
But a man who's doing sports commentary, just giving commentaries, he looks at the bigger picture and the issues behind the sports, looking at the history of sport, and looking at all kinds of aspects and facets of sports. You understand?
Yeah, true.
And especially in sports of yesteryear compared to today, and that kind of thing. So you look at certain angles, not just blatant reporting that there's a match yesterday and a match and it fall off. That's hire a sports reporter.
True.
Who gives I want to give the daily news, and now we hear from our sports reporter. That's a daily thing, but not for commentary, a weekly commentary, Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, thanks for that clarification, Ossie. Ossie, a lot of persons call me, met me, and ask me, Lofty, but I am hearing this kudos program on cue about Ossie that transpired some time back. I myself did not have an answer for these people. So, what is your take? What is your take on why that program was being replayed over and over this week?
Well, nobody told me there's going to be a repeat of that kudos to our hero program. This thing was a live program about 2 or 3 years ago.
Okay.
When I was recommended and recognized as one of the heroes. Kudos to our heroes.
Yes.
I was number 5.
Okay.
I think the first person was Mrs. Francis.
I think it's Doreen Francis.
Doreen
Yes.
Francis.
Doreen Francis was the first, yes.
Second was Felix Henderson. Third was Mr. Louis, with the great Whitney Louis.
Yes.
And fourth was Annette Saint-Hilaire. And I was 5th.
Wow.
Randy Rodney, pastor, came to me and told me, Ossie, we have chosen you unanimously to be number 5. I said, yes, certainly.
Ossie did. Ossie, but the memory is still intact, man.
Oh,
you go
my,
back.
my
Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5.
My memory is sharper than ever before.
Wow. That's good.
Now, of course, I remember even things in the past, I remember more than things of the last week.
That's good. That's good, Ossie. That is coming through nicely, for sure.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
So again,
Yes.
what is your take? Why
yes.
you thought it was replayed over and over this week in particular, or last week in particular?
I would like to throw a question to people why they thought it was being replayed. Why do people think that all these plaudits and accolades and so on was still being replayed, and for 3 days, Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday of this week. Thursday they played the entire thing. I heard only a snippet of it on the second day. Third day I was in the hospital, I couldn't even hear it. I was taking my dialysis treatment, right?
Yeah.
So I didn't hear it, but people heard it. People came here today to me. My fishmonger guy came to me, congratulations, blowing me and so on. I think that's an old thing, man. That's I think 2 weeks ago. But the question you asked, I haven't answered yet. Why you think so? I will ask you, could I ask you that same question? You are a journalist, you're a man in the media. I could throw a question back at you. Why do you think that Q95 will play in this, a repeat of this on 3 separate days in succession, just prior to Mr. Gregoire coming on the air at 6 o'clock in the evening? What do you think?
Wow.
It would appear to me that you're trying to placate the situation, to show that Ossie Lewis in such high esteem, we acted in good faith, and Ossie Lewis misinterpreted his intentions.
Yes.
And he acted in good faith to damage control then. And to come, when he comes on the air, which he did come on Thursday, he would come with the job half done already. Because people were hearing this man, he himself paying plaudits to me, and all the accolades and all the people. So the whole thing I felt was damage control, and to come on the air, so he's not coming to get me, he's coming in peace and to pacify everything and come to a nice, put some oil over the troubled waters, you understand? And just placate things, you know, and show that I might have acted a little, I went overboard with the whole thing, that he himself acted in good faith, and he thought of my health so much, my health. But Sharon never called me once about my health, unlike myriads of people who called me about my health. Sharon never called me once. He never discussed anything with me. And you asked me earlier, had there been any discussion of somebody taking over? I mean, of course, if there's a reason and we come to a mutual discussion, I could easily agree to that.
Yes.
But the way it was done, completely no information, just an authoritarian way it was done. You understand? It's the way you do things, you know.
True.
I'm not bound to be in sports until I die. I'm not bound to be. But many times, when I was away for a few weeks, and I will return, I would ask my co-host if he wanted to lead. He used to tell me, go on, man. I'm telling you. Yeah. So I didn't want to hold on to it, this thing.
The way things panned out, Ossie, it would seem as if that there was some rift or some tension between you and some other persons, especially in the sports rap program. Was that the case?
Well, it would appear to me that this is what took place, and this triggered this letter which came to me, an unceremonious matter with no previous contact with me or discussion. Nothing. That's why it came to me so suddenly. Is because some action was taken. I assume that it would appear to me, and I don't know if I'd go into detail about what happened, but it would be that And, okay, here was Sheridan Gregoire speaking on Thursday, the Sports Wrap. Didn't you get a sense that the host was in an indecent haste for him to finish and to get over with his everything he had to say? You yourself called the radio station. Didn't you feel there's a sense of, you know, indecent haste to get rid of the callers? Didn't you think so yourself?
Ossie,
So-
on that same program, Ossie, it was unequivocally said by Sheridan, by Sibo and others that you are still a part, you are still a member, quote unquote, of the Sports Wrap program, and your contribution or contributions will be welcome. What's your take, brother?
I'm still a part. But nothing has been done towards that end, you know. I was told you will receive a link since Wednesday, and I will take part on the Thursday program, you know. The Thursday gone by,
Yes.
right? And I'll be furnished with a link, and I could participate with Lobby and so on. But no mention was made that there's Dr. Thing as well, Fontaine as well. So in any case, the way it was done, I would never ever go back. It was done, I think, in good faith. But the point remains there were 3 or 4 other gentlemen on that Sports Wrap program, right, with Sharon Gregoire speaking. Not one of them said anything, you know. Why that deafening silence? Who, my former colleagues, people I worked with, something is being tried to be pacified by the boss man, Mr. Sharon Gregoire. Did you observe that the other 4 people there who were just silent, saying not a word? What do you make of that? A deafening silence. You wouldn't say a word. Huh? And Sheridan apologizes, although I think it's a hollow apology. At least he was told to apologize. One or two callers call and say the way he went, not informing me, not discussing with me, was wrong, and he should apologize. He did apologize, but nobody else supported him and said, "Oh, we'll welcome back." Did they say they'd welcome back Ossie? Did they say that? Not one of them. Read between the lines, no man.
Read between the lines. I just saw that comment flash across the
Read
screen.
between the lines, no man. You're a grown man, Loftus, man. You don't know when a man is acting in good faith and when a man is just pretense, hypocrisy at its best. You say in a man you can't get to him by phone in this day and age when my wife has WhatsApp and every day she gets WhatsApp messages. People call me on her phone every day. All of them know my number and my wife's number. Sheridan Gregoire, we have spoken, as I said before, many times on the phone for a long time. And he knows that.
Ossie, so are you telling me tonight, are you telling the world tonight that you will not accept that link or be a contributor to the program if that link is extended or given to you?
I will say, Loftus, that this thing was done in a wrong, mischievous way. And I'm telling you, this thing was done to harm me, right? And you can just read the letter of Sharon Gregoire, you can read between the lines. You don't tell somebody you will no longer come to the office. You might say there will be no need. You read some lovely love. Where's your civility, man? You're not a civil person then. You talk to a man, you tell a man you will no longer come in my office. Can you tell a man that? What are you telling the man? You will. These are the words written, you know. Words that are powerful. I'm a master of words.
Okay.
Thank God for that.
Wow.
So that's why he said his whole thing reeks of injustice. It's his station, he does what he wants. So don't come back now and play hypocritically. I don't go in for hypocrisy. Everybody around that table, the other one person said one word. I said, well, we welcome back Ossie, man. I think Ossie misread this thing, man. Ossie's made a mistake and definitely, and you apologize. I think Sharon said in the end that they should work on something. I wasn't too sure of how he ended it with them. but as though opening the door for me then.
Yes.
I must say he did that in the end. But what he has to do, he has to rectify it, redeem it, correct it, withdraw it, get back to square how it was before. Give me the chance now for me to have a discussion, everything, and I come to my decision. I will willingly give it to Sibo.
Okay.
But not the way it was done.
So to ask you the same question in a different way, Brother
Different
Ossie.
way, allowing discussion.
If the legions of fans now
Yes.
says to Ossie, Ossie, we need you back, we want you back. That voice is a very distinct voice, we need you back. Oh, what would you say to these fans in terms of making a comeback? If
I would say
the opportunity is extended
if I am to come back, I can only even get into the studio to me is no problem.
yeah.
I did it twice. I did my 2 hours. That is no problem. You can't presume anything at all. This is no difficulty for me, right? So there must be real mature discussions, right? People admit certain things. There's something else I want to go into, but I don't think I really care to go into it now. I'm just disappointed in certain people and the way they go on. You know, they go on. I'm happy for you giving me that medium. Happy.
Sure.
It's going around the world. I want to say categorically that I would not go back and just be on the link. You already have Thompson Fontaine, you have Low Black, you have Lander, who again, you have another person again, I'm not even sure. I have about 5 of them now. Let them run the show, right? For me to go back, Ossie Lewis must go back in the role he had before. And then after that, we can come with a discussion.
Wow. That is
At the
serious.
appropriate time. And I'm a very civil person. If I see a thing as a strong and you're acting in good faith, no problem.
Yeah.
But you're not acting in good faith. This whole thing was done. It was done in a hasty manner, with indecent haste. The letter was written a day before my 3rd. I was away for about 12 weeks. You never, for once, got in touch with me. In 12 weeks, you can't get in touch with me. And you're telling me about you considered my health. How do you consider my health? You don't talk to me. And you think a person who has dialysis is unhealthy? I see the guys doing dialysis in the hospital. Some of the healthiest, strongest men I've seen.
Yeah.
That's where they are. I repeat, dialysis does not mean incapacitation or any debility on your part. It just means you have a condition, a kidney condition, which dialysis sort of helps. And you can do anything live a normal life. Once you follow the nutrition and you take your dialysis, it's a therapy. And by the way, also, if I am sick, if I am sick, and I can make it to the studios, that is therapeutic for me, because I have a place to go out. Once a week I can say, I'm going to my sports rap. That is a therapy for me. Understand, Loka? It's a therapeutic then, going out.
Yeah. Ossie, as we bring this discussion response to wrapping just a bit, I took note of your last line. It says, your letter, meaning you're referring to Sheridan's letter, and the tone therein reeks of crass authoritarianism, a lack of civility, a lack of the democratic tenets, and epitomizes injustice. Just break that down so the ordinary man and woman can understand what you meant in your last line.
Authoritarianism means you acted like a Bajan, to put in local term then. And why say so? A dictator then, an autocrat, right? That's authoritarianism. In other words, you give another man no chance for a fair hearing to hear any word he has to say. There was no prior discussion on the topic, nothing. You just come to your decision and tell the man something. Make a decision to hurt the man. Whether he likes it or not, you just tell him. That's authoritarianism. Right? And the question about natural justice, the main pillar of natural justice is the right. Everybody must have a right to a fair hearing. You can't take decisions against somebody without giving them a chance to hear them. You must at least give them a right to a hearing before you come to a decision.
You being a magistrate or a former magistrate.
Yes.
You know that very well.
There's no natural justice there. That's pure authoritarianism as a badger then. I say so. You know? A dictator then. A boss man. That's what it means. Well, you're a boss man, you have your station, you do what you want. But don't come next door and try to placate the situation and pretend that you acted in good faith. I'm sure when he wrote that letter, I feel sure then that Sharon Gregoire did not act in good faith when he wrote that letter. It is my gut feeling, and I'll go to my grave with it. So if he wants to apologize, I can accept the apology must be followed by redemption. He must rectify the situation. Sure. You apologize and correct it. You can't apologize and still persist with a wrong. If you did wrong and you apologize, you must correct the wrong. And he must know he acted wrongly. 10 years I'm doing that for you, among other things. So lack of civility means he didn't act like a person who showed any respect then for anybody's views. He just did what he had to do. And I think he was in fact encouraged by some devious forces. I will not mention names. Wow. But who is to gain from it? Ask who is to. When anything happens, just ask yourself two questions. Who is to gain from that move? Right? And see where your trail leads. You have to have a detective mind, you know. You know, there's something that open as day, you know. And why it happened at that time, he had come back to the already, he was waiting for his third session. Why that time? Why now? You know, the whole thing was done like a conspiracy. And someone's telling you, and all kind of plaudits for me and this and that and heroes and so on. Fair enough, I deserve it, and people know I deserve it. That's why he had it. That's why the committee, it wasn't he only, a committee who nominated me as one of the heroes, number 5 hero, unanimously. So I know who I am, and I can show you the certificate. It says, Ossie Lewis, a man of principle. That is, those people who gave me the award, they know Ossie Lewis has principle.
True.
It's there in my drawing room. If I die today, everybody will see it. A sportsman and sportscaster par excellence, and the line below says, a man of principle. I didn't write that.
And a man who doesn't mix his words. I'm adding that here now.
Thank you very much, Loftus.
Knowing the man Ossie, I know.
I like honesty.
Yeah.
Blatant honesty. Right? And not because you're in a position you feel you can ride roughshod over a man, especially a man who's giving you good service for umpteen years. You have to respect people, you know. So he showed a lack of respect.
Yeah.
By telling you no longer come to the studios. Don't come to my studio again. Now he said, well, it's in black and white, in bold letters, do not come to Q95 again. He said that. So he didn't know what he write then.
So Ossie,
that's why I have to thank you very much for a platform, man.
Yeah. Having said all that, Ossie, we'll come to that in a while. Having said all that, Ossie, where
do we go from here?
Where do we go from here? Yes.
Where do we go from here is a simple matter. If people want Ossie Lewis back on sports rap, they can, if they ask for me and they bring me back, I will go back. I'm not saying I could go back forever. Nothing lasts forever. But at least I will have proven a point that an injustice was done to me, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a man, all my life, I've railed against injustice.
True.
All my life, always been against injustice. And I'm never a man looking for money as such, big money. I got a little stipend in the first few years, After Hurricane Maria, the gentleman stopped saying he couldn't pay again. I continued to work and do my thing free of charge. It's true, Seaborn myself had a sponsorship. Why it's negligible?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say how much. You can hardly buy a proper ice cream with that.
Wow.
I wouldn't say much, man. Pennies, man.
Okay, leave that alone also.
But leave that alone. I don't care. Remuneration is not an argument for me at all.
True.
I could never say I'm not doing something because you're not paying me.
True.
I've never ever done that before. I've done service for DBS, for the other station, Voice of Voice, Mr. Lawrence's station.
That is
Vibes Radio.
Vibes,
Vibes
yeah.
Radio. And money has never been an argument with me. You want my talent, you want my thing, I'll do it. But just give me my respect, you understand? But I never have money issues. That is not my bag at all.
As we wrap up, Ossie, any final thoughts from you, sir?
Well, the final thoughts I'll say, I want to thank you, Loftus Duran. As a man yourself, I believe, have done a lot of service for that same radio station, and I can tell you, you're doing a wonderful job, and you were, to many people, it appeared that you unceremoniously, quote-unquote, dumped as well, by not going there. You can defend yourself adequately when you're ready and when you want to. I want to thank you for giving me this platform, because I doubt I would get it on Q95. And I just couldn't call this station on Thursday because the way the host was called, I think, was too, in a hurried, indecent haste manner. Sheridan was taking his time, but the host was very hurried, and you can bear witness to that. So I say I will get a platform where I can have time and expose everything. So essentially, you cannot know the state of my health without at least speaking with me. You have no medical certificate, nothing. You think dialysis causes me debilitation and incapacitation, you're wrong. There are many people in dialysis who live long, fruitful lives. And I want to debunk that misconception that because a man on dialysis, that he's not fit. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So that's a myth, should be debunked, and I hope I've debunked it.
Ossie, well, you sure did. Thank you very much, Ossie, for your words. I know, as I said before, you're a man, you mix, not your words. And so I expected, and the persons listening and viewing expected nothing less. Thank you very much for speaking and basically bringing some clarity, as it were, to that matter.
Yes, yes. So I'll give you my position, and we shall see how things pan out.
Yeah, thank you.
In the end.
All right, folks, that is it for me here with Ossie Lewis, speaking his mind, refuting certain things, and basically laying the cards on the table, as it were. I know some of you out there may be saying, after that whole discussion with Ossie, Lofty, thank you. Some of you may be saying, Lofty, you like trouble. Some of you may be saying other things. But at the end of the day, I am someone who always go after justice, and wherever injustice shows up its head,
I know.
wherever it is, I will try my very best to.
And you're building a good reputation on that, Loftus Duran. I must admit, you've built up a reputation on that.
Thank you. All right, so folks, that is it for me. Remember, I said from the preamble of my discussion with Ossie, this is a truncated, a shortened program of the Saturday Night Live we usually have each and every time, discussing local issues in Dominica. So once I leave here, turn up that camera, then it will be next week, Saturday from 6 o'clock. Tomorrow on the Civic Vibes program, though, we'll be having a brother from Antigua. We'll be talking about some local issues in Antigua and also juxtaposing that against some local issues happening here. So that's it for me. Thank you very, very much, Dominicans, those of you in Dominica, in the region, or further afield. Ossie, your final thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Loftus. I appreciate it very much to come here at my home and to allow me the platform to ventilate a bit, because there were too many untruths said on a Thursday evening sports rap program, which was held in decent haste, and people had a chance to air their views on this topic. So I wanted a platform where I had a little more time to clear the air on certain untruths that were said, and I think I've done that, and certain misconceptions which I've debunked. I am well, very well, And Lord, I thank the great Lord above for keeping me well. I thank him very, very much indeed. And thank you, Loftus Duran, for your kind attention for me to be on this platform. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, brother. Thank you very much.